Good morning, farmers. Welcome out to the brand new field here. We are up bright and early this March of year 9, nearly 7 a.m. in the morning. It is a beautiful Elm Creek morning as always. Little chilly, but that never stopped nobody. We are here on the brand new field that we just plowed together this last episode. We decided to name this one the Spike due to the little horn we got going on over here. Things are looking good and it is planting season officially. We are here planting some oat on this here field. Bit of an interesting plant with these corners the way they're looking, but you know what? We're getting her done, man. We're getting her done. This last episode, we did a massive land expansion. We bought 3 new fields, 3 of the biggest ones on Elm Creek, and we decided to put 2 of them together here, aka the Spike. We also got field 70 over here already planted with cotton, but I decided to make the Spike right here into a nice oat field, get it in on the grass rotation. Now, speaking of grass here, I was just looking at some of our other fields and it does look like they are ready to harvest. Now, they are only ready to harvest 1, but that means that we can actually go get them all harvested up and get them planted with oat this month, just like we're doing to this field right here. Now, I am wildly off course, but that is a-okay. Lots of planting to do today, lots of harvesting, and actually just in time because I was noticing our silage production was looking a little lackluster. A horrible sight to see. We are completely out of grass, completely out of straw. We're making no silage. We had it on auto sell the last couple months just to, you know, keep selling it at that peak pricing, but now it's back to storing, so we are literally completely cleared out of silage. I will definitely be taking care of that today. I actually have a little bit of new fun stuff planned with mowing, but we probably should get that started. Now, we do have the tank tractor down here as well. I was actually just looking at our field right here that has been planted with cotton this last month. It was very nice. We bought it when it already was planted and fertilized, so needed to do nothing there to get this field started. Now, I actually had an idea here. I am going to trade these 2 out. Right there is our brand new Fendt Vario 1000, or excuse me, Fendt 1050, and I am just going to actually trade these tractors out. Now, these 2 are the only ones that can run this planter, but I actually have some pretty fun plans with this old Fendt one today. First things first, though, I do want us to get this all planted, so I will just get this back to it, but on the tank tractor. All right, so the tank tractor is here. I hired a nice farmhand to continue planting for me. So while I actually do love using this tractor for that planting and it's very, very smooth, an AI should be able to handle that planter a-okay, and I want to get mowing started. So first things first, I actually think I'm going to swap over to the Dutes Far and get him mowing. It is a little bit different than what I'm used to doing with this guy, which is typically, you know, we have the tank tractor mowing and then this guy doing some foraging. However, I might actually expand how many mowers we have a little bit. These mowers have been fantastic, but I think we might be able to get a nice little upgrade that might just be the new standard for how we do these things. First things first, though, I do want to put these mowers to use. So gonna start mowing on this while we get working with the Fendt over here. So the second mower situation actually came to be from me seeing a particularly interesting thing on the used vehicle sale, which I actually bought. I just bought it right away. It was at the very end of last month. I did it just before, you know, going to sleep for the next day. Wasn't a crazy purchase, nothing insane, but I think it's going to be pretty funny. So right up here, kind of a familiar sight. It is another mower. It looks very, very similar, but it has a very slight key difference. It's a pretty handy little mower, very, very similar to the one we already have, but it does have a little special thing there on the back that maybe you can see already. It has a little bit of a hitch there, man, which is pretty cool for what it enables you to do. So it is this guy right here. It's very similar to the one that we have already, which is the Vicon version, which is another 7100. They're the same working width and everything like that, but I think I'll actually go ahead and buy the matching piece to this. This just goes in the front here. So nothing crazy. It's $21,000. I'm just gonna get this. Comes in 2, and the other one was like 70% off, so we got it for a pretty sweet deal. It is a bit injured, a little bit old, but it works really well for what we want it to do. With all of these fields being turned into grass as well, we're just gonna need to add more to the arsenal. I need multiple different mowing operations to be happening at the same time. Now, there is a specific reason why I want to use the Fendt here. It is a very beefy tractor. It's over 500 horsepower. I think it's like 510 or so. With the kind of like hauling we have planned here, it helps to have just a little bit of extra power. Now, some of you might already have figured out what I'm going to be doing here, but I am driving down to the forage wagons, and I think this is just like super funny that this is even an option. What we're gonna do is we are actually going to connect the forage wagon to the back of the mower. It has a hitch back there, and basically what this is gonna do is it's gonna allow us to run the forager as we are mowing, which I think is pretty funny and honestly very efficient and useful. By the way, you can see the Dootsfar over there doing a good job mowing the old way. You can see I got the nice convoy here, man. Look at this, 2 mowers and a forage wagon all being hauled by 1 tractor. So I don't even know if this is like that much of a speed increase over just running the forage wagon after, since it definitely slows the tractor down. It can go a lot faster just operating the mower, but the benefit here is it only requires 1 pass every time you want to you know, pick those things up. Instead of needing another tractor to come in and be foraging like at the same time, this can kind of just do it all at once, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know, I like this. I'm gonna get this all like unfolded here. Oh man, 3 different implements all in the same tractor is crazy. So you can see why we would need to have this this much horsepower, because we're running 3 different things all at the same time. So look at this, everything is down. I will just get it lined up over here. To admit, it is very hard to turn. Okay, I got everything turned on here. It should be mowing. So it definitely is a little bit hard to turn, man. It is not the cleanest, but once you get it lined up, it works like a dream. Look at this. Oh, so we are getting a nice mow, and we are immediately picking it up with the forage wagon. That is awesome. So what we can do is you can actually just take this right to our fermenting silo when it is filled up, and then come right back and just keep mowing. Granted, it will make the mow itself take longer just because we're gonna have to take trips to the fermenting silo, but I mean, come on, man, look how cool this is. And it's not like we always have to run this. If I have tractors free, it probably just makes more sense to get another one on this. It'll speed things up a little bit. Doing a one-man operation like this is pretty cool. I don't know. Oh man, you can see the turds, they're pretty rough. They are pretty rough, but that is okay. That is okay. Oh man, maybe this wasn't such a good idea, but I think it's very funny. I wanted to get another mower anyways, so once I saw that the back mower was like 70% off and it happened to come with a rear hitch, I knew what I had to do. So we'll be doing this at least one time, man. I mean, this is cool. And one thing I'm really curious is how the AI is going to handle this. So I got an AI onto this, and we'll see if he is able to do this, because this is just going to be very funny. Oh man, yeah, it's just the turning radius on it is kind of scuffed, but that's okay. You can see it takes him a bit just to like do these turns. Like he cranks the wheel. Ah! Goes way over. Oh man, that's funny. He has to do all those turns nice and wide. Oh man, that is very funny. I'll check back in on this guy a little bit later. Let's see, planting is going swimmingly here. We are gonna need a little fill up here. I was checking over the productions here, and I did notice we are completely out of wool. So I think I will go ahead and finally take that wool up. We obviously have a ton from the sheep. I've kind of just been waiting to take it up since we have so many bales of cotton there. But you can see I got my trailer up here already filled up, ready to roll. It is a messy job yet again. I've gotten much worse at that as time went on. Uh-oh, blocked by object. That is not a good sign. Oh, that is not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, get back to it there, big guy. You got this, you got this. And we need to take this cotton on up, get it delivered. And I think what I'm actually gonna do after we deliver all of this, if there's room for it, man, I might have to do some creative stacking when I get there, because we have 90,000 liters of wool. That is a whole lot of wool back here in these pallets, man. That is a lot of wool. You can see the Massey Ferguson's like kind of struggling to reach top speed. Its top speed is usually 31 miles an hour, and it is slow to accelerate. I have that tractor weight on the front too, so it's hauling a pretty big load for something that is not super high horsepower and has nearly 70 hours working hours on it, which is crazy. What I'm gonna do as soon as I am able to drop all this off is I'm actually gonna use this trailer as a little bit of like a seed and liquid fertilizer delivery. One thing I've kind of gotten sick of doing is going to and from the vehicle store with the planter itself for any fill-ups. So I think I'm gonna do what a lot of farmers actually do. It's very common, is you load up some pallets of seed and fertilizer here in like trailers, and then you take it out to the fields itself. I could do something like an auger wagon, but the problem is I also need to fill up with liquid fertilizer, so we would have issues there. I think once I get my, little homestead there a little more organized, I might get one of those fill-up points for, seeds and fertilizer and all that sort of stuff. I think that'd be really helpful to have around. It's just one that you can just buy the stuff and fill it up, in bulk. You get a little bit of a discount because it is in bulk. And then, you just go there to fill up. Now, I don't know exactly how this is going to work because I already know we have a ton of bales up here that are taking up like this whole space. You know what? There actually is a whole lot less than there used to be. So I will take a sec and get all this offloaded, see what I can do about this space, man. Okay, so it is all offloaded here, and you know what is so funny? I was worried about all the space there. Yeah, it is like not even half full of wool. I think we could actually ramp up sheep production as well. Upgrading the spinnery so many times, we were able to get the capacity that they can have of all of our different products just sky high. So, and the funny thing is, I think we can actually continue to upgrade it. I'll see how much cotton we're actually getting this year and if that is worth it, but yeah, we shall see. Now, I am just driving across our field here because it's grass, and I wanted to look and see how that guy is doing over there. At the end of the day, I don't know how worth it this actually is. It's very funny, and I like doing it because it is just so ridiculous to see a forage wagon right behind a mower like that. I don't think it's that crazy out of the realm of possibility for something like that to exist. There are some pretty just ridiculously big farming rigs out there, although a lot of grass farming is a lot different in real life than how it looks in FS22. So this is very funny though, so I really don't mind. I like it. Now I brought the Massey Ferguson here with the trailer. I am going to get this guy hooked up with some seed pallets, with some liquid fertilizer pallets, and get on out to where our planter is. We're going to be acting as a little refill today. We have to plant 3 of our fields after harvesting them. Now, this one should be very close to getting mowed there. That's the oil can. Obviously, Big Boy is a work in progress, we'll call it. And it looks like we stopped on the spike planting just from running out of seeds. So I got to get out there real quick. Now, this is more than likely overkill, but we got, what, 6 pallets of seeds, 2 pallets of liquid fertilizer. I think that should probably cover it for the day. We'll have to see though. These are some pretty big fields, and I don't really want to have to go to and from the vehicle store more than I have to. It does look like we finished up mowing one of our fields over there, so I will get these out. I want to get planting resumed, and then we will continue the double mowing adventures. I kind of want to see where this guy's at. Okay, he's right over there. They're having a lot of trouble with the corners and stuff. I think it should go quicker once he reaches, the point where he doesn't need to worry about backing up so far. And oh man, poor guy, he's got a pretty rotten job today, but we're getting there. Oh yeah, just driving by, fully mowed up. Look at all those windrows. I think that's near about my favorite field, at least how it looks with all the windrows on it. That's the oil can field. Something about it is just so visually appealing, seeing all the twists and turns of the windrows. Pretty cool, man. I think we can actually do a little shortcut here. We own both of these plots of land now. So obviously I do not mind taking a little shortcut through my own fields. So we're making pretty good progress in terms of this big old plant. This is a very big field, second biggest field on all of Elm Creek. Of course, Big Boy being the biggest. I wonder if it's ever going to get dethroned. I have more plans for just grabbing big chunks of land and kind of plowing them into big fields, but I don't know if we're going to quite reach that size. Guess we'll have to see. So we got those pallets there. I think I'll just hop into the tank tractor here, get it all filled up. Oh man, yeah, I think we're actually going to need a lot more pallets than this. I can't believe I thought that was going to be overkill, man. So that is all the seed, and now we will just work our way through those other pallets. So we're going to need like a lot more seeds. A lot more seeds, a lot more liquid fertilizer than we have on this little tractor here. This little trailer being drawn by a tractor, but we got it all fully filled up. I will get the Massey Ferguson out of the way here. I guess we might as well just stay down here and use the rest of this before I go pick up more from the vehicle store. So he's fully filled up and back to planting some nice oat. Now, most of this guy is going to be fully fertilized, but we do have that little strip right there that's going to need a little bit of lime, a little bit of fertilizer, as well as I think that part over there. Yeah, we're going to need a little bit of lime over there, although it appears to be fully fertilized, so I'm not entirely sure what the issue is, but we'll get it figured out. I think with the Big Boy taking as much time as it's going to take, I think I will just get this other one mowed as well. Get Sheep Alley, get Oil Can, all taken care of. And look at those beautiful windrows, man. Ooh, you got to love it. So the one unforeseen part of this is this slows down the turning so much. It is crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rethink this one, but it's pretty funny. I don't regret the purchase very much just because we needed another pair of mowers anyways, so it was definitely going to be happening regardless. And I was just planning on buying another one of the ones that I had already, but this is a lot more useful. I guess it has the potential to be a lot better. Maybe if I set up the course a little bit better, a little more friendly to this immobile guy here. But yeah, as it stands right now, oh boy, he is making slow progress. Now, I totally forgot that we actually do have a smaller forage wagon just for the Massey Ferguson. So I am just gonna leave that trailer there. The Fent can just fill up on it once he's done, and I can swing by and grab it later. We should get foraging, I believe. Make sure everything goes nice and smooth. Now, I just can't believe at the amount of land we have these days. It's kind of why I'm scaling up on all of our tools just as I move forward. With all of this land, we just need bigger and bigger operations to handle all the work that needs to be done on them. I considered getting another planter too, and it's probably still going to be something I do, because if you think about it, planting this and planting that and literally all of our other fields, it's going to take quite a long time, to the point where it's like I might need some more tractors. 2 mowers was like the minimum of what I needed to get right now. I suppose I could have considered getting a forage harvester as well, but you know, I think our setup is pretty conducive to mowers being ran by the tractors, and I can always upgrade to a forage harvester later. They're kind of expensive, and I don't have like an amazing reason to get them when I could just get a pair of mowers for, I think it was like $50,000 total, whereas a good forage harvester is going to cost me like 400 or 500,000 and not really be that much better. It might be a bit quicker, but it kind of has the same problem where you need a trailer nearby the whole time just to spit out the grass clippings and all that. I completely forgot where I was going. I need to go down and grab that other forage wagon that is right next to the silo. So I think it was right around a year ago when I added the extra sheep and fed them and picked up all of the wool that we had going on there. So there's like 1 or 2 pallets still left there, but there was a good, what, 80,000 liters of wool from those sheep, which feels great. Obviously going through our spinnery to be made into clothes eventually, which we will be able to finally sell next month. I might double check the price prices just to see if we're, you know, close right now or anything like that. I'm anticipating a really big payday. And the funny thing is, it's not even going to be like our max payday. That will come pretty much like the year after. This poor guy is getting caught on everything. He just cannot turn to save his life, man. Poor guy was trying to flip a Yui and oh man. He just can't do it. It's too unwieldy. If need be, I can always just drop the forage wagon off and get this mode up regular. Probably what we're gonna need to do, but in the meantime, might as well run it, man. So we'll just get some Massey Ferguson forage wagon going on here with his little tiny one, you know. Hey, it still works great. Don't make fun. Doing things the classic way. Look at that mowing going on over there. This foraging going on right here. And it is just a beautiful spring morning. Year 9, the official beginning. Big stuff at play here, man. I love it. I think I might just put this guy out of his misery here. Detach that forage wagon and get this back to mowing, you know. Yeah, that was a little too unwieldy, but pretty funny though. I think I'm just gonna borrow like a tractor, maybe even 2, and we will get foraging with this guy. With how things are looking, we could really just use like an armada of tractors. It's really rare that I just don't have anything for a tractor to do, especially on days like today where it is like, you know, we are slammed. We got 3 fields to harvest, 3 fields to plant, and some fertilizing to do, and some liming to do. We got to do all of that today, man. Whew, that's a whole lot. So we are just going to be foraging with this guy, which does save the Fent a trip all the way over to our silo there. This is probably just going to be cleaner. Maybe I'll mess around with it in the future. It was pretty funny to try, though. The mower forage wagon setup. Maybe a little too cheesy. So it's a busy one, as I said, man. Planting this entire field, got a little bit of liming to do on it, and then right into planting all our other fields. We have 3 fields right now already planted. We have 70 here. We also have 57, 56. They all have cotton. The rest of them, I think, are going to get oat. Maybe it's too much oat. I don't know. I don't really know if we have an upper limit on too much oat or not. Either way, it is going to be a whole lot of money this year, man. I'm excited to sell off for our clothes production tomorrow, and I'm excited to see how harvesting looks later this year. I will be getting another harvester all leased out this coming year for getting all these fields covered, because this little harvester just can't handle this much area that it needs to be harvested all in one day. Probably would be a good idea to swap this back with the tank tractor just because it's a little smoother when planting. At the same time, I could get another planter leased out, and it probably wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Decided to do a little bit of a change up, get the good old Fent, the brand new trailer we got here, back on planting. Since our attempt at mowing and foraging at the same time kind of failed spectacularly, I decided to get him back over here. Handles our big old planter just a little bit better, and speaking of planting, this field is officially done. So that is 1 field down. Believe we still have that trailer down here with a little bit of liquid fertilizer and seeds left on it. I think I'll just go drain the rest of those off, get this on to another field. Been working on all the fields today. Big boy's very close to being done with being mowed here. It's being foraged at the same time. They definitely aren't almost colliding as I'm talking about the fields. It's a work in progress. Maybe we'll get another forager out here as soon as the other fields are done. Oil can well on its way. Massey Ferguson out here with the little guy, the little forage wagon. And once we were done mowing some of these fields, I just swapped the Dootsfar over to using the Crone. We haven't used this one in a while, but it still does the job, albeit a little slower than the other 2. So definitely drained that trailer. I'll get it sent back up to the vehicle store, get it refilled, but in the meantime, I'm gonna drive on over to our next field, which I need to turn around for. Oil can's pretty close to being done, so I will probably just buzz on up there. So we will need to get this limed. It also looks like those sections need another coating of fertilizer. What's nice is with our new fertilizer and lime spreader, we can actually do that at the same time, which is very nice. We can put the smaller fertilizer spreader on the front and then just use the new one to shoot some lime on the back. So only one pass will be required. So it looks like we are literally just wrapping up on this field here. Literally as I get here, the Massey Ferguson finished up, so I will get that planting started over there, and I can probably send the Massey Ferguson on up to help forage the big boy. That one is going to take a while. We do have quite a bit of planting to do, considering we got this field, the Sheep Alley field, and big boy to take care of all today. So drove the Massey Ferguson out here to assist, and yeah, we'll just get these things covered with the good old forage wagons, get it all taken care of. Looks like we're just about to finish up mowing as well over there, which is wonderful. On oil can here, I was just checking things out, and it does look like we have some weeds today, so I will need to run a weeder as well. We're almost done mowing with the tank tractor, and then I'll pick up a weeder and get him on over here. It's always something else to do, man. Man, there's something about the shape of oil can that just makes all of these implements working on them look so cool, look so good. Don't look in the corner there, man. We don't need to talk about that, okay? Perfect timing. I just got us a nice weeder leased out as well here at the vehicle store. I can pick it up, and while we aren't going to be able to weed just immediately, I'll have it ready to roll as soon as it is needed. Oh man, it's starting to get a little crowded in here. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need some more space for our little homestead here. The other thing is, I don't use a lot of the stuff here anymore. I still use the greenhouse, I still use those storage sheds, but I don't use those silos whatsoever right there, and I don't use the chicken coop, and I'd be more than happy to get rid of the beehive as well. So could be upgrade time one of these days, but with all the money that we've been spending, probably not the best idea. I totally forgot we do need to get us some more seeds and fertilizer out to our good buddy who's planting. So I'll probably take care of that first, since we are kind of waiting to do any weeding anyways. All right, maybe a little sloppy there towards the back, but we got the seed and liquid fertilizer mobile. A good 5,000 liters of liquid fertilizer, another 9,000 or so liters of seeds, all on pallets ready to be loaded up. I assume we're pretty close to needing a refill here, so I'm just gonna get this guy down there ASAP. Gotta make sure we get everything covered in them beautiful oats, man. Excited for the harvest this year. It'll be the first one where I'm gonna be running multiple harvesters, and I got some big plans already for what I'm going to be leasing out. Might even just be something that I'm gonna make payments on, kind of like our new tractor over there. So should be an exciting thing to try out. Have been enjoying using the lease to own mod. It has made it so I'm just more likely to lease things out on any given day, which is a lot of fun. I like trying out some new vehicles. Just gives me more of a reason to use them and not be afraid to just, you know, use some money to lease them out, give them a try. If I don't like them, I can always get rid of them, and if I do like them, I can purchase them eventually and just treat it as making payments. It's a very low risk way to try out some new vehicles, and I have been enjoying it quite a lot. Might need to look at what our course is for this guy on course play, because it is looking a little messy. As soon as we're done with oil can here, I think we'll probably just head over to Sheep Alley, unless Big Boy is just looking significantly more clear than it was a few minutes ago. So maybe I'll just park this trailer over here, do a little bit of a, you know, mobile fill up station. That way I can go over, grab the weeder, and then just get it going on these fields as soon as planting is done. Speaking of big boy, it does look like we're pretty close to done here. Getting a second forager out here always speeds things up quite a lot. There's just a few more passes for the Dutesfar over there, and the chunk that I had the Massey Ferguson do is just wrapping up. Will honestly be kind of nice just to have another tractor back into the rotation of what I can help with. Now, speaking of which, probably should just head down, make sure we get Sheep Alley all covered. It's a little slow with the old crone forage wagon that just doesn't quite keep up to these two, but you know, it's still nice for days like today where we just need the extra help here and there. So it's really just a few passes here, but otherwise, yeah, looking pretty good. Busy March, but we are starting to get towards the end of it. It's really just going to be planting the rest of those fields and getting them weeded. Obviously, Big Boy itself takes a while to plant. I mean, it's true to his name, it is a big boy. I mean, look, it stretches like along this whole street. The whole area here, we've just been driving back and forth, and it just takes up the whole thing. It is a big field, man. Here on the big boy, getting it all planted up. I have the other fields looking pretty good as far as planting and weeding go. Got our little mobile refill station here being pulled by the Massey Ferguson. Getting filled up while I was just going by. This is the last field we have to plant, so we're getting very nearly done with being all planted for March. See, we drain those pallets pretty quickly when we're refilling the seeds. It just goes down and down and down. Should be more than enough to finish out this field. And of course, right as I say that, we run out of liquid fertilizers, so I'm gonna have to bring some more of that out here at least. Get the Massey Ferguson over to refill that, but continue on planting here. Mowing and foraging obviously already done. I can take a look. I haven't looked at how much grass we got out of that, but I assume it is a whole lot. We had all our fields except for the two ones on the home base all planted with that grass. Granted, it was only ready to harvest one, so it's not gonna be like that insane, but it is gonna be pretty good. So I will get planting resumed here and get this boy filled up with some more liquid fertilizer. It's been kind of fun being a little bit of a mobile fill-up station here. I'm kind of surprised I haven't done this so far in the past. I guess the one downside is I wish we could carry a bit more seeds, or even that we could have a bit more of a capacity on that planter. Might be something I'll address in future weeks, but for now we will just deal with what we got. Got some more liquid fertilizer to head on out. I have a feeling we're gonna have a bit left over, but not a terrible problem to have or anything like that. Field is looking pretty good though. Obviously have a bit more of that grass to plant over, but otherwise things going pretty swimmingly. Just like the other fields, this will need to be weeded as soon as we are done planting it. It does have some weeds growing, but we're getting them in stage 1, so that weeder works fantastic. All right, fully filled up, back to planting. Just got to get the Massey Ferguson out of the way here. But yeah, things going very well. So speaking of our grass, 1.2 million liters of grass just from that harvest today. We're obviously going to be putting a ton of straw in here as soon as these fields are ready to be harvested of their oat. Really looking forward to that, and it should be a huge harvest this year. As I mentioned, these other fields have been de-weeded. You wouldn't be able to see that anyways. And they are all mostly stage 2 fertilized. We do have a little bit here to do on the spike. Just those new sections need to be limed and fertilized, and I will just take care of that next month once we can apply another round of fertilizer here. Probably gonna finish planting up this guy here, the big boy, get it all weeded, and then we are right into April, man. Gonna be our first big batch of clothes being sold. That should bring us a ton of money, as well as, like I said, just doing a tiny bit of fertilizing and liming. That should just about do it before harvesting season though, and I am very excited for that as well. Just want to say, if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a like down below. It helps a whole lot. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. A lot more Broke to Billionaire on the way in the future. Appreciate y'all watching. I will see you in the next one for harvest season, man. Later.